we're talking about here on the Breakfast Club. Here we go.
Uh, I don't know. They even threw Chrisette Michelle back into it. Y'all remember she got in trouble for the first time.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they damn near tried to kill her career.
Yep.
For performing.
Now everybody was so happy that Ashanti spent the block and the family unit is good. Now people are like, why would she spend the block? He a loser, she a loser. All this stuff.
You know, the hypocrisy that people display in regards to who they like and don't like is mind-blowing to me. Like, there is no way you are more mad at rappers for performing at these inauguration events than you are at the elected officials who told us Trump was a fascist, a threat to democracy, a danger to our country and the Constitution. They likened him to Hitler, but then folks like Biden just welcomed him back in the White House. Obama was sharing a good laugh with him at the funeral of President Carter. We know why the rappers did what they did. We know why they doing it. They got paid. What's the politician's excuse for normalizing Trump?
Okay. I think this is probably what they wanted me to respond to. Two things. One, and I think I spoke about this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Obama with Donald Trump at the funeral, was that Obama being who he is, being the former president of the United States, and it being protocol that the president of the United States or former president show up to the funeral of a former president. I believe that, for one, it was his duty to be there. He felt that it was his duty to be there because of who he is, right? The seating arrangements, I don't think he has anything to do with. In fact, if Michelle Obama had decided to come, I don't think we even get those pictures of Barack Obama and Donald Trump together, right? The other part about it is this, and I think I said this the last time I talked to you guys, is that there are protocols, man. Like, again, when these people are together, they know the cameras are on them at all times. I think Barack Obama understood that, yo, man, these people are watching us right now. I can be an asshole to this dude, but what is it gonna what purpose is being an asshole to this dude right now in this moment serve me when this moment isn't even about me? This moment is about our memory, the memorial of former President Jimmy Carter, right? So you got that going on. The other part about it is this, is don't act as though Barack Obama didn't put in the work to not get this guy to be in the position that he's in right now, right? Other motherfuckers had put Donald Trump in the position to be in that room. Had more people decided to do the right thing and vote for Kamala Harris, you never get this interaction between Donald Trump and Barack Obama, right? Barack Obama been out here campaigning for Joe Biden, campaigning for Kamala Harris, campaigning for Hillary Clinton, campaigning for countless Senate candidates, campaigning for Congress people. Barack Obama, he ain't president no more, but when they feel like they want to pull out a big gun in the Democratic Party, Barack Obama being, up until this point, the last democratically elected Democrat president, yeah, he was the big gun for them. And a lot of y'all told Barack Obama to kiss y'all ass. Y'all voted for the other guy. Right? We have a Donald Trump because of a Barack Obama, man. Let's keep it a buck. Donald Trump doesn't even run for president if there had never been a Barack Obama who had been president. So a lot of y'all have had opportunities to not make that situation happen, chose to either not get involved. Politics ain't your thing, yada, yada, yada. Politics gonna do you if you don't do shit with it, no matter what. But the false equivalence of this is that, Barack Obama told y'all he was a threat to society. He was a threat to democracy. That don't mean this shit ain't still true. Joe Biden told y'all he was a threat to the society. That don't mean this shit ain't still true. As a matter of fact, we're talking about some of the crazy shit that he's doing right now. So it's not like they lied to you. It's not like they lied to you. The fault that they have, the fault that a lot of these Democrats have, is that they have been true to the protocols. They have been true to the institutions. They believe in the institutions. And they have been trying to preserve the institutions. and you juxtapose that with Donald Trump, who does not give a fuck about the institutions at all, right? Now, you juxtapose that even further with some rappers who come from communities who overwhelmingly do not like this motherfucker. Again, 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. 80% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. The vast majority of black people do not fuck with Donald Trump. 28% of you motherfuckers voted for this bitch, though. Okay? So when the vast majority of our people don't fuck with this dude, don't be mad at the people for being mad at this dude, or these artists who come from the community, who got rich off of the community, who were propped up off of the community, and then they get to a point where, you know, they no longer need the community for their livelihood, and then they just say fuck the community. That's not hypocrisy, dude. And that's the one thing about Charlamagne the God, man, that I've never really quite respected, and I never really understood why so many people were holding this dude up as some sort of political purveyor of, like, why we were even listening to this nigga when it came to politics. I never understood why. I mean, I get that their platform is large, and, you know, by, you know, virtue of the platform being large and being in front of so many millions of listeners, then people feel like they have to come speak to this nigga. But there's nothing that tells me that this nigga knows anything about politics other than saying some shit to get people riled up. And much the same way, I guess, he's getting riled up right now. But ultimately, I've never respected this nigga's political acumen whatsoever. I've never respected the false equivalencies that this nigga would have. That's a false equivalency he's drawing right there. Dumb niggas went to go get paid. Barack Obama went there because he felt like he was fulfilling an obligation as a former president of the United States. Same thing with Joe Biden. When they feel like they have to uphold the Constitution, when they feel like they have to uphold the institutions that make this country what it is. And to compare that with some niggas who went out to go get some money with some people that don't really respect them much at all. Come on, man. It's a false fucking equivalency.
Oh, when I said that on Twitter over the weekend, I'm still getting dragged. They said because Obama has to do that as a politician.
He doesn't have to. Trump didn't do it 4 years ago.
Exactly. Trump said the election was stolen in 2020, and then he acted like it. He didn't do no peaceful transfer of power. He didn't show up to the inauguration because why?
And what did people do to Donald Trump? They clown the fuck out of Donald Trump. Many of the people who are like kissing his ass now didn't want anything to do with him then. Donald Trump was politically dead to a large degree. Until, of course, Kevin McCarthy went down there to Mar-a-Lago and, you know, kind of softened the blow on that. And then, you know, there was Mitch McConnell who decided, you know, to vote against convicting Donald Trump for the charges of what happened on January 6th. And in large part is responsible for the reasons why we have someone like a Donald Trump even being eligible as a fucking felon to be president of the United States today. So yeah, we could be upset at the institutions. We could be upset with the people who are, you know, who have been stewards of this institution, right? But also understand that when you understand everything that's happened up until this point, listening to this nigga with the false equivalency about, well, Donald Trump did this and, you know, he stood on business. And like a lot of y'all on this stand on business shit, like, yeah, he did this shit and he was pilloried for that shit. He was pilloried for that shit. Now we just it's like this part here, excuse me, this part here is where we start devolving into going lower and lower and lower and lower. And I know, like, everybody wants to say, you know, they're the petty king or whatever, petty LaBelle, all these sorts of things. But ultimately, you know, the reasons what we're witnessing now is the establishment of new norms. But being mad at the old guard for trying to hold on to the old guard and doing old guard things, while we're watching niggas who just a few short years ago called niggas jigaboos for going to support Donald Trump or perform in front of Donald Trump and then go forth and do it himself. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Stop that shit.
How would you ever show up to an inauguration after you just accused a bunch of people of stealing an election? Democrats can learn a thing or two from that. And if you ask me, all that smoke you have for the rappers, you should have for Obama. You should have for Biden and all the other elected officials who got us all riled up and scared, only to turn around and have tea with a man they likened to Hitler. Like literally just was having tea with him yesterday. I would respect it more if folks was consistent and they gave Obama and Biden smoke, but I didn't see none of that. But y'all mad at Nelly and Snoop?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're mad at Nelly and Snoop because people understand the difference. This is the false equivalency, and it's much the same way. Much the same way we were talking about Lord Jamar a couple days ago when it came to him, debating a fucking scientist over whether or not the Earth is round or flat, and him being the living embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Well, Lord Jamar vastly overestimates his level of knowledge, right? Vastly overestimates his level of knowledge. Is totally unaware of how much he does not know. And when he's up against someone who does have a knowledge base, is someone who is also aware of, they know that there's some things that they don't know, but they're aware of what they don't know. I think when it comes to like Charlamagne the God, we witness this, especially in his political, critique oftentimes. He often is not aware of what it is he doesn't know. But that doesn't stop him from getting on the microphone in front of millions and spewing this bullshit. And unfortunately, when you have a platform that large, you affect how you can have some level of effect on how other people are thinking about this shit too. And so now they are now walking around with the same flawed logic that he's walking around with. And we're now this shit gets perpetuated over and over again. And this is how we get a nation filled with people who think that it's okay to reelect a motherfucker who tried to overthrow the government the last time they were in office. This is how it happens, man. That's how it happens. Team US 2K is in the chat room. They had something to say. They said half the time Charlamagne be speaking out his ass. This much is true. This much we know to be true. All right, let me play a little bit more of this, I guess.
Nelly and Snoop don't hold more weight than Biden and Obama. Like that, honestly, those performances are inconsequential. But what are people going to remember 2 years from now in midterms or 4 years from now when it's another presidential election? They're going to remember when, you told us these were you liking this guy to Hitler and this guy was a threat to democracy, but then we saw you showing all your teeth with him.
No, what they're going to remember is they're going to remember that like all of the shit that that Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and even Liz Cheney was trying to warn y'all about. What they're going to remember is y'all tried to warn us about this shit. We didn't listen. Now look at all this shit we going through. Oh my God. That's what they're going to remember. That's what they're going to remember. Because I'm going to be honest with you right now. You're going to be like, yeah, I had to sit with the nigga, but I told you not to vote for him. We tried to warn your dumb ass. We tried to tell you, man, we was on the campaign trail for months, nigga. We was out here in all the damn union halls. We was at all the bingo halls. We went to all the VFWs, man. We was out here at the Five Guys. We was out here at the McDonald's, nigga. We went to the car washes. We was everywhere. We had our sleeves rolled up. We was trying to tell you motherfuckers, but y'all ain't want to listen. Here we are 2 days into this damn Donald Trump presidency 2.0. And niggas are already losing their shit over over all the executive orders and shit that Donald Trump is filling in. Project 2025, shit motherfuckers tried to warn people about for the whole goddamn presidential campaign. They are implementing this shit from day one, and niggas are acting surprised. They thought it was bullshit. Oh, no, man, that's just some propaganda, man. Y'all talking about, y'all just trying to scare me into voting, man. You can't scare me into voting, nigga. You can't guilt me into voting for the Democrats, nigga. It's two sides of the same coin. All right, two sides, all right. There's two sides, nigga. When you find out what the other side of this two sides shit is, though, don't nobody want to hear that shit from you. Ain't nobody gonna want to hear from you. So yeah, man, this nigga crazy, bro. This nigga
at a funeral.
And not only that, when he sat there and pretty much peed on your whole last 4 years in front of your face, and you did absolutely positively nothing.
They
to smile.
booed Obama when he walked out, y'all.
Yo, they did. President Biden did preemptive pardons yesterday for his whole family, for Dr. Fauci, for the January 6th committee, because he feels like Donald Trump is a threat to them and a danger to them. But then he turned right around and had tea with him before the.
You know why he did that? You worried about the tea. You worried about the fucking. You worried about the minutia of the protocols of the transition of power. Like, that man don't have an incoming FBI director who blatantly stated that he was going to come after that man's family. That he didn't have, that he had a list of people in the government that he was coming after. And then you start seeing people on the right talking about how, Joe Biden giving all these pardons just means that, we don't want to hear anything from the Democrats when it comes time to for Donald Trump to start handing out blanket pardons. It's like, yeah, Donald Trump is already handing out pardons to people we know committed crimes in front of everybody. That was the first thing he did was pardon the January 6 motherfuckers. We know. Everybody saw these niggas do this shit in broad daylight. They caught them niggas in 4K, dog. Caught them in 4K. And yet and still, Donald Trump, on his very first day, he's out here letting criminals out. Now, you can't tell me you for criminal reform, or you can't tell me you are about back in the blue when the Fraternal Order of Police is mad that you let these motherfuckers out, which is ironic because the Fraternal Order of Police endorsed fucking Donald Trump. Oh, shit. Oh, damn, it ain't even working. Damn, we out here having technical difficulties again. Let me try that again. There we go. That's the sound for the technical difficulties and the shit that the damn FOP was out here talking. Because y'all voted for this motherfucker. He did something against y'all ass. I guess y'all voted for that. We can't really have much sympathy for you. Right? I saw some shit earlier today where they were talking about ICE being in Dearborn, Michigan. Hey, man, Trump won Dearborn, Michigan. I guess that's what y'all wanted. Same thing in Hamtramck, Michigan. Hamtramck's mayor was out here endorsing Donald Trump and shit. Those folks voted for that man. I guess that's what y'all wanted. Right? It's at a point now, man, where we got to just be sober-minded and aware of when niggas like this are talking, or bring, false equivalency in you to death. And also not being so overwhelmed by the amount of bullshit that is going to come our way. Pick and choose your spots, but, don't allow for these next 4 years to drive you up a motherfucking wall, because that is exactly what they want. And with this sort of political analysis going out to the vast majority of folk, man, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So, yeah, man, that's it, man.